Welcome back to Nobody's Safe. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Hey, folks. Again, we're going to talk about this one too. This past week we talked a lot about this realignment thing that kind of hit everybody square in the face. It started last year with Oklahoma, Texas leaving the Big 12. They're going to be going in 24 or 25 to the SEC. Last week on Thursday, the other shoe dropped, and now you have almost the end of the Pac-12, it looks like, with USC, UCLA jumping ship to the Big 10.
Into the Big 12, too.
And, yeah, listen, the Big 12 is definitely. But I think that we talked about it on the other video. In fact, take a look at our other video, too, whenever you want to find out what we think about that. But this video here is about what does Notre Dame do? Because that's the next team that the Big 10 is not done. They are definitely trying to bolster their conference to not be left behind. They had a handshake deal with the Pac-12 and the ACC to not try to poach any other schools. They lied. They did it. Now they're all the way in. They need to make their conference as strong as possible in order to battle the SEC, which is really what the whole thing is, man. You know it. Yep. I know it.
Absolutely.
So what is the best way to do that? Well, now that you have SC and you have UCLA, which SC and UCLA, the UCLA part of it, except for the basketball.
The Lincoln
part.
Riley part of it, yeah.
But the Lincoln Riley and SC part of it is big especially because they'll play against. They've been used to playing against these guys in the Rose Bowl because it's the Big 10. The Big 10 against the Pac-10, the Big 10 against the Pac-12. It's always been that way. So there's some natural rivalries there. But the biggest shoe will drop is if they get Notre Dame, which is basically a free agent. Now, there's some money issues that they're going to have to jump through in order to do it. But make no mistake, the Big 12 the Big 10 is making their play for Notre Dame. Now, I ask you, Bryce. Again, I'm Jason Watkins, your host, back here with the friend of me, Bryce Pinson. Bryce, what happens? What happens? Does Notre Dame make that leap and finally go away from their independence and jump into the Big 10? And why or why not? Why should they or why shouldn't they?
So I don't know if y'all have realized this yet. For some of y'all who have been watching us for this period of time, I'm glad I get to go first because Jason's going to be right on this, and I'm not. And the reason is because
I am. Go ahead.
I watch ball. That's what I do. I don't know coaches. I don't know GMs. I don't know money. I watch the game. I know the players. I know how good this guy is, how good that guy is. I watch ball, man. And that's all I know. And so what makes sense to me, you go to the Big 10 because the games that I grew up watching, USC, Notre Dame, you know what I'm saying? You need to get Stanford over there somehow. Yeah. Because, get them in the Big 10. I don't think it would be that hard if Notre Dame decided to come. You got all their rivals in there. And I'm sorry,
think if you get Notre Dame, then you got everybody. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather watch Notre Dame play Michigan and Ohio State than watch them play Duke and North Carolina, bro.
And they do play Michigan and Ohio State. Well, Bryce didn't know how right he was yesterday when we started shooting that thing. I was just in the middle of editing everything up, about to release it, and I start getting phone calls back from guys that I was waiting on, and this information is not. Notre Dame's done. They got to go. They don't have the spot in the Big 10. That pipe dream about independence, it's a pipe dream. You can't do it. Even Notre Dame can't afford to continue to lose money like that, which they've had an expense issue apparently over the last few years. I don't think it. Don't take it wrong and say that I'm calling them broke because I know better, but apparently it's been said that they're not happy about the money that they're spending playing this independent schedule. And then when you start looking at these $80 to $100 million that they're offering to go play in the Big 10 and the SEC, you got to do it. The Big 12 was starting to look like they might be able to indeed survive all this carnage. Nope. Reported earlier, talked to a couple of guys that I know from the Oklahoma State club. They're being approached by the SEC now. They're in talks with them. Obviously, they're going to have to take that deal if they get it. They'd be crazy not to. Because even if you stay in the Big 12 and you're getting 40 to 50 million, that's exactly half, which means that you're going to be half as good. You're still going to be little brother half as good if you don't take the money now. So this is all blowing up in everybody's face. Bryce didn't know how right he was about it. It's all going to be about quote unquote ball for him, but it's also working out money wise. In the end, that's really what it comes down to. The money. Why would these? It's an embarrassment of riches too. I got to tell you, all this money is coming. Well, hell, it's all TV revenue, basically generated by ESPN, the worldwide leader. ESPN's turned into an unbelievable entity, weird deal, the way that things are going. But this thing is literally going haywire in a matter. I mean, we're talking about a week and a day, and nobody knows what this nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. It's hell lasting. The truth of it is, nobody is safe. And why the Big 12 didn't move a little quicker? Because apparently now you've got, I don't understand this part, but Utah waffling on going to the Big 12. They've got a solid core of 12. They need that 4 and then maybe even 4 more. But the one chance that you have to survive here, if you're the Big 12, is to add teams immediately. Otherwise, you're done. You might as well just hang it up now. Because this is not, how it's a lame duck situation, not going to make any kind of money off of that. This is, and the writing's, it's been on the wall, but now they're over there scribbling on your face, my man. I don't understand why Utah wouldn't want to do it. I know for sure that I don't know for sure, but my sources aren't telling me anything about them getting talks from anybody in the SEC. I haven't heard a single thing like that. I haven't heard a single thing about the Big Ten wanting them either. Who cares about that Salt Lake City market? Not many. I think that there's East Coast teams that you wouldn't even consider anywhere on Utah's level that they'll take before they take them. That's not going to happen. The Arizona schools, apparently Colorado's kind of doing the same thing. All the talks have gone cold, and yet here we are. Now they're telling us that the ACC is jumping ship too. The SEC is making a move already for Clemson. We talked about this a little bit in the last couple of days, but Clemson, Florida State, Virginia, and I believe North Carolina, could be Virginia Tech, but there's going to be another round of that, which is where the Oklahoma State part of it comes in. I think they're going to be going in with either Virginia Tech or maybe West Virginia. Depends on how this all shakes out. But then you've got Miami and Miami, Va-Tech, West Virginia, Oklahoma State are all kind of looking at or apparently being approached. So if you thought you were safe in Big 12 country, you better think again. You better start finding out where it's time to go, Texas Tech, Baylor. You better figure it out because you're about to get left behind. Again, nobody's safe. This is the Power 5 in a matter of a year has basically turned into the Power 2, and there's no going back from it. There's definitely no going back from this. The money has gotten too obscene, and now here we go. So, hey, again, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Hey, stick with me. I'm going to be on the road some this weekend, but you might as well go ahead and hang around because I'll be updating as I hear things. I've got calls into pretty much every source I know. We're gonna continue to bring you the information as we get it, Bryce and myself. So get ready. It's coming. Have a good one.